Hello, my name is Kirioth, and today we are going to have a little chat about the Warhammer Preview Online, Decadence and Decay, because there was some cool stuff in there, frankly. Got a bit of Mortals of Slaanesh, bit of Slaanesh mortal action, always nice, and we got Sigvald the Magnificent, and I'm gonna spoil it for you now. I play Age of Sigmar now. Sigvald is showing me the way, and moister than an oyster. What an absolute quality model. Let's just go straight in. Let's go straight in. So, first up, 40k wise, not a huge amount, to be totally honest with you. As always, we'll be skipping the trailers. You can go to the article and watch them if you would like, but I'm sick of cutting stuff out because of copyright claims, so yeah. Warhammer 40k, Rust to Rust. What's the last thing you want to see when you open the viewport in the morning? If you answered the Terminus Est whilst trembling in abject fear, trembling. Whilst trembling in abject fear, then you have a lot in common with the inhabitants of the Caradon sector. So this is essentially a new campaign thing, similar to Psychic Awakening. So Typhus has shown up to the Forge World Metallica, and so we've got Warzone Caradon Act 1, The Book of Rust. Heroes will stand, worlds will fall, and an entire system stands on a knife edge. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Sounds very Vigilous. So, in this, there's going to be rules for Death Guard, Adepts, Mechanicus, Imperial Knights, and Drukhari. There's also going to be a Plague Purge mission pack, good lord, which allows everyone to join in the fun of the Caradon Warzone with a host of Pacific Crusade rules. So there you go. So you got the Plague Purge, you've got the main campaign book, and importantly, we have Codex Drukhari. So that's nice. Codex Drukhari on the way. I'm not 100% sold on that art. I'm not 100% sold. Now, I only say this because the lads in the Venom at the back, they look cool. The what is he called? The ones that are on the like the Green Goblin jetpad. I forget what their actual name is. That looks nice and dynamic. Nice bit of movement there. The actual main focus, like the focal point of that art, looks very static. I don't know if it's because there isn't any kind of blurring, or whether the hair is a bit too down, whether there's just a lack of... There's something missing from that art that makes it look a bit weird. She just doesn't look like she's moving. She looks like she's hovering weirdly in the air. Super nitpicky, I know, but like when it comes to codexes, the front covers should be like solid, really solid. There's just something missing from that one, and I'm not really sure what it is. Maybe needs a bit of like terrain behind her, so it looks like she's jumped off it. Anyway, good news is Xenos Codex pretty early on, and it's the Drukhari Codex. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty quick you get in that one. So the first Xenos Codex of 2021 makes the Drukhari faster and deadlier than ever before. You'll see more attacks, higher damage, and lethal combat output across the board. The stabbiest of the Eldari are about to get stabbier, so you'll be able to take the real space raiding force you've dreamed of without being penalised in command point cost. You can run Pure Witch Cult. Nice. Mix up Cabals with Homunculi Covens. Also new Crusade rules. And become a feared crime lord of Camorra. Nice. Whether you're planning a mighty real space raid or starting a Crusade army, you'll definitely want to include some Incubi, who are now more lethal than ever. Fancy that. The lads with the new model, they get something special apparently. So movement 7, weapon skill 2, nice. Blitz skill 3, strength 3 toughness 3, wounds 1, 3 attacks, leadership of 8 and 3 plus save. And they've got the Demiclaves, where you select your profile before each thing. So single blade is +2 to strength, -3 to AP and 2 damage. That's quite nice. And then dual is +1 to strength, -2 to AP, 2 damage. And each time the bearer fights, if this weapon profile is selected, it makes 2 additional attacks with this weapon. And then you've got a third option, which is +2 strength, -3 AP and 2 damage. But yeah, okay. So yeah, alright. Nice. If the unit contains 6 or more models, has a power rating of 8. You should probably remember after using power ratings instead of points. So Incubi will easily slice through anything that gets in their way. Now their clothes are damaged too. Even Space Marines will be no match for them in combat. Excellent. And also Dark Angels. Dark Angels are on the way. Again, I like that cover art. That's some good cover. That's yeah, I prefer that to the Drukhari one. That's nice. That's cool. Very fancy. If only the Primaris Dark Angels actually looked like that a little bit more. So, Codex Supplement is packed with indispensable background on the most secretive of all of the Space Marine chapters. You'll be able to launch faster and more deadly Ravenwing assaults, initiate units including Dreadnoughts into the Deathwing. Good lord, I want... yes, please. Yes. I'll have that. Hunt the Fallen with a range of new stratagems and relics. You can also interrogate people, which is nice. Necromunda, this is a weird one. Okay? So, you've got the House of Artifice, you've got the Van Saar lads and lasses, I should say. And models-wise, we've got these. Now, I just don't know what to make of them, to be totally honest with you. They just look super weird to me. I think I quite like them. I think they're also... I don't know, that stylistically they're just so different from all the other gangs and just everything else, really, in the 40k catalogue. Like, I mean, I know Necromunda isn't technically 40k, but it's in the 40k universe. You get what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. I don't need to explain this again. These especially just look so just a normal sci-fi, I think is the way to put it. Like, there is not to me the barest hint of recognisable 40k-ness to these. It just, I don't know. I think I like them. They're just so different. They're just so very different. It's not to say they look bad. It's just so unique. The little flying platforms are kind of funky. The design is certainly weird. The kind of exosuit thing going on where they've got the extra limbs off one side is... I like the design of them. It's just so not what you're used to, you know? Just so not what you're used to. But yeah, I do kind of dig it. Yeah, it's just so alien in a way. It's like it's from a totally different franchise. But then Van Saar have always looked a bit like that. I just feel like these have turned it up to 11. Yeah, I feel like maybe the kind of the flying platform thingies, maybe they look a bit off because of the paint scheme. Maybe they need to look a bit more industrial than that. I don't know. They look kind of comic book to me. But yeah, there's some new Van Saar stuff. Kind of funky, kind of interesting. You got the Archaeotex and you got the Neotex. Weird. We also have Treebeard, who is not weird. Treebeard's a legend. I really like this model. This is decent. This looks real good. That looks just super spot on for the film. I think whoever sculpted this did a really, really good job. There was an old metal Treebeard, wasn't there? Way back. I forget exactly. Yeah, because he's in plastic now. I suspect the metal one probably did not look as detailed as this. But yeah, I do remember there being a metal one. But yeah, that is a really nice model. That is a really nice model. I think they've done a really good job on that. You've also got Merry and Pippin chucking rocks at people. You can have them seated on top of the Ent or separate. Yeah, they're bigger than their previous models because they've been drinking Ent draft. Sure, if you think we're going to apologise for these puns, then you're barking up the... Anyway, there's also more Warhammer Underworld's Diachasm thing. I did see someone say they can't wait for the day where Games Workshop writers just stop being able to come up with names and just end up calling things adjective noun, which I could see happening. So we've got Kagra's Ravagers. Now these models are pretty decent. I do like these. Nice, solid Chaos Warrior models. The Sorcerer looks cool as well. I like the asymmetric horns on the head there. That's a nice touch. Yeah, these are decent. These are decent. I have been reliably informed that the shields that Chaos Warriors carry are most likely borderline useless, but they look awesome, and that's all that matters. You know, who cares about anything else? These are some good. These are some good models. This guy's got a nice bit of Slambo energy going on. I'm liking this fella. In fact, I think that might be my favourite. I'm not 100% sure about the kind of cartoony claw on the front there, but the broken horn on the helm is a nice touch. The scar across the eye is really well done. The weapons look nice and brutal. Yeah, that's a solid model. I really like that. Really like that. So yeah, this lot are on the way, and to me, they look pretty solid. They look pretty solid. I will say that she has a similar vibe to the Chaos Lord from was it Dark Vengeance? That's kind of got a similar pose, standing with the mace out, holding the helm under one arm. Kind of similar to this. This has got a kind of similar feel to it. Obviously, they're holding a shield, but you see what I mean, right? I can't remember which one it was now. I'll have to see if I can stick a picture in the edit, if I can find out which one it is. If I can't, then I won't, and you'll know, because it won't be here. But yeah, decent models, these. Decent models. Like them. Now, moving on. It's totally worth watching this video, by the way. You should go and watch it. I'm not going to play it now, because as I say, sick of copyright claims. But Sigvald is back. He's back. And that's how he looked. To be honest, I think still a pretty solid model. Still a pretty solid model. The paint job helps a lot. That has been really well painted. Overall, I think that's one of the most solid older Chaos models that Games Workshop have. Or had, alternatively, because he's had a bit of an upgrade. Look at that. Properly magnificent. I really like it. It's very over the top. Don't get me wrong, it is super over the top. It feels very anime, to be totally honest with you. The billowing of the cloak, the sheer length of the hair. Look how long the hair is. Also being swept back. The fact that it kind of matches the cloak and looks like it's kind of being blown in the same direction is... I mean, it's something that should happen anyway, but it's nice that that's been paid attention to, because sometimes there's like conflicting motion on some of these models. Like you'll see a cloak kind of billowing in one way, but the hair isn't moving, or the hair is moving, but the cloak is moving in a different direction. There can be some kind of confused motion on some stuff. This does not have that. It looks like... It doesn't even look like he's moving that fast. I just assume that there's like a constant breeze to make him look as dashing as possible. That's what I'm assuming happens. That's what it's like in my head anyway. That's how that works. Even if that's not true, that's true to me now. I just read, there's so much detail in the armour. Again, very nicely painted, have to say. Yeah. The armour is super detailed. The cloak looks really nice. The shield is like a nice upgrade to the previous one. The shield and the sword are like recognisably the same, but scaled up, and just with those, just a bit more detail added here and there. I really like it. It's so good. It's such a good model. It is such a good model. I've seen quite a few people being like, oh great, so 40k's got a better Sanguinius than... Age of Sigmar's got a better Sanguinius than 30k. I don't know. There's an aura of smug that I don't think Sanguinius has. Like, one of the things that I like about this model is that it looks like this is someone who firmly 100% believes that they are the best person here. Like, that they're just better. There's an attitude to this model that I really like. He just looks like everyone is beneath him, which, I mean, if you're Sigvald the Magnificent and you look like that, surely you're entitled to have that belief. But yeah, it's just so stylized and flowing, and yeah, I really, really like that. I really like it. Good lord. Oh, I want to paint it. I want to paint it now. Also, chop his legs off and put him on Marathi's snake legs. Give him 2 claws from the Keeper of Secrets, and you're good to go for a Primarch Fulgrim. Handily. Not that I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm genuinely not going to do that because Marathi's like 85 quid. You know that this guy is going to be at least 75. Keeper of Secrets is another 85. That is absurd. That is not going to happen. That would be mental. Someone wants to fund it for me, I'll absolutely do it. But with my money, no. I draw the line somewhere. I'll buy a Vulcan Megabolter to stick to a knight, but that was only like an extra 40 quid. I'm not spending nearly £300 making Demon Primarch Fulgrim who doesn't have any rules. Like, what? No, it's not happening. It's just not happening. Stop trying to talk me into it. Leave me alone. I can still hear you typing. Stop. So yeah, a few more close-ups. That's the thing. There's just definitely a smugness. There is a smugness to that expression. I really like it. I really like it. It's so good. I want it now. Wetter than Otter's pocket. So there's also the Myrmidesh Painbringers. Now I really like these as well. I think they've done like a really good job with these mortal followers of Slaanesh. Because, and this bugs me. This is something that we're probably going to do a video about at some point because it gets on my nerves. There is a mistaken belief amongst a lot of people that Slaanesh is just sex. That's all it is. Like, because of all the memes are fine, but memes are not a reliable source of information when it comes to the background of 40k. I saw people complaining that these guys and gals, they can't be Slaanesh because essentially there's no tits. It's like Slaanesh isn't the god of that. That's not how that works. Excess and sex are not the same thing. Slaanesh is the god of excess. If you look at like the 6 circles of seduction in the realm of Slaanesh, only one of them is carnality. Only one of them is actually sex. There are 5 others. There are 5 others that are nothing to do with that. There's pride, there's gluttony, there's greed for riches, there's power, there's even laziness, an excess of laziness, where if you drink from the streams in that circle, you will fall asleep and never wake up. Excess is more than that by far, and Slaanesh is more interesting than just, it's got an extra boob. Like, that's just boring and shit. Don't do that. Stop it. Anyway, I really like these because they have an overly excessive appearance. You have got armour that is relatively tame in some respects, but there's little nods here and there to other things. So there's different things represented. There's bits of greed shown off with like the number of gems. There's kind of the kind of pain element of Slaanesh with all the spikes that are on different sections. You've got little details like on this one. There's like a kind of girdle thing around the top of the leg. It serves no purpose, but it's there to kind of it adds something. They all look over the top. They look over the top, but still functional. There is a kind of grace going on there, but whilst they kind of look fairly shapely and they aren't too kind of hypersexualized, there's also, it feels like there's a lot of pride going on here. You know, everything is just turned up a bit too far. The crests are a bit too long. The spikes are a bit too big. You've got things like tassels on the weapons and the shields that are clearly not functional, but they're there to You know, they're there to just add more. I really like the way they've done them. They've steered away from that kind of very basic interpretation of Slaanesh and gone for warriors that look proud, that look, you know, it kind of look like they're hoarding things in a way. Like there's gems and carvings and kind of cloth and these long flowing bits of hair coming out of the helmets. It feels excessive, but it's not just here's another tit for you. Like I don't know. I think they've done a decent job with these. I think they've done a decent job because they've actually looked to other elements of Slaanesh for inspiration instead of just doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, which it's just boring at this point. But yeah, like them. There's also the Simbaresh Twin Souls, mortals who have forged dark pacts with the lesser demons of Slaanesh, sharing their bodies in return for a measure of their power, which can only go well, as I'm sure you're aware. These are weird. Some of these are super weird. Cool, but super weird. The armour is basically the same. I'm assuming that this is going to be a kit that builds both. Because if you look at the actual armour itself, you've got the same deal with, like, there's a leather boot on one side, and then, yeah, it looks to be pretty much the same kit. In fact, we can just go up quickly. And let's see if we can identify the same shoulder pad. That guy and that guy. Yes. In fact, the whole body's the same there, if you look at it. Whole body's the same. I hope that there's a bit more choice to be made there, but we'll see. But yeah, I like these a lot. Got a creepy grin on your face, haven't you? That's the most awful one. It's just the tongue is unnecessary. Put it away. No one wants to see that. No one wants to see it. There's some funky weapons in here as well. Some like kind of really cruel weapons going on. I mean, that guy's just got a big stick and a weird glove, but then when you get to this lass with the, what even is that? What is she even holding? I don't know, but I don't want it to poke me. That would not be good. So yeah, mortal followers of Slaanesh, sort of. I mean, these are like half demon, half mortal, so I guess there's like a bit of overlap, but I really like the style of them. I think they've done a really good job with them. They look good. Let's go back to Sigvald. What an absolute hunk of a man there. I mean, there wasn't much 40k stuff, but then I didn't expect there to be. I was kind of hoping for something Slaanesh based, and that's what we got. And it is, I mean, in terms of things I want, the Myrmidesh guys and Sigvald is right at the top of the list now. Gonna have to wait a while to get them, most likely, but yeah, I really like what they've done. Let me know what you think of all of that stuff in the comments down below. Anything you're particularly excited by, anything that you saw and went, oh dear God, yes, give it to me. Other than this guy, obviously. No, tell me if it's this guy as well. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things, Patreon, video subscribe, all that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click it if you don't want to. And of course, as always, there's an affiliate link in the description for Element Games, which you can use to support the channel if you would like. I leave it in your capable hands. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.